Men are under the impression that refraining from harassment is sufficient, but it's not. Just abstaining from harassment isn't adequate. You also need to acknowledge our presence. Making advances is seen as creating a hostile environment, yet avoiding interaction is also deemed hostile. It seems there's no right move. Everything is perceived as wrong. It's what some term a shit test. Your feelings aren't a concern. Focus on your work.
A significant number of male managers, nearly half, express discomfort engaging in common work activities with women, including mentoring, working alone, or socializing. The discomfort of working alone with a woman has increased, affecting almost 30% of male managers, more than double the previous figure. The hesitation to mentor women has also tripled, from 5% to 16%, indicating that 1 in 6 male managers might now be reluctant to mentor a woman. Senior men are 3 times more likely to hesitate about having a work dinner with a junior-level woman than with a junior-level man, and 5 times more likely to hesitate about traveling for work with a junior-level woman. The impact of METOO. The impact of the METOO movement and modern feminism is perceived by some as prescriptive, placing the burden on men to change their behavior without clearly outlining desired outcomes or actions from the movement itself. The speaker suggests that efforts should focus on fighting for worker rights, addressing corporate culture, and taking responsibility for issues like consent, rather than demanding changes in male behavior. As stated, the METOO movement's consequence is a reluctance to hire women and a shift in men's behavior in the workplace. Men are minimizing chit-chat, avoiding meetings outside of work, and sticking to all male groups during lunch. Some argue that this behavior is a protective measure, while others view it as sexist and creating a hostile environment. The ambiguity created by METOO, where accusations can lead to severe consequences, has influenced these changes in workplace dynamics.
In my early 30s, married and working in an extremely male-dominated industry, I recently joined a new job after the company expanded and opened an office. 2 coworkers, both in their late 30s, married with kids, previously worked remotely but now spend 5 days a week in the office. I've noticed an awkward dynamic, a noticeable discomfort around me, as if they're afraid to be alone or talk about anything beyond work. Despite acting professionally and respectfully, dressing appropriately, and maintaining friendly interactions with all coworkers, it feels like they're on edge, akin to a guy talking to an attractive woman while his wife watches. This uneasiness is puzzling, since I wouldn't feel uncomfortable if their wives were present during our conversations. I value developing friendly relationships with coworkers, similar to my camaraderie with my previous colleagues. The situation became more perplexing during a work trip. One coworker and I shared a 4-hour flight, during which we had a meaningful conversation, only for the tension to return once back in the office. The next week, another work trip resulted in me being booked into a different hotel and flight under the pretext of availability, leading to a recurrence of odd behavior. A twist in the tale occurred when the other coworker faced a similar situation during a work trip but exhibited the same uncomfortable behavior afterward. Despite having met both their wives on multiple occasions and maintaining a professional demeanor, it seems like any solo interaction with me triggers a fear of potential rumors or accusations. Considering this uncharted territory, especially in an office environment, I'm still determining how to address this cold behavior. Any guidance on navigating this situation would be appreciated. What do I do?
In my perspective, it appears to be a situation where feminists have inadvertently achieved their goals only to realize the unintended consequences. The desire to instill fear in men has led to the creation of an environment rife with sexual paranoia, where guilt is determined outside the courtroom, often shaped by public sentiment. While they have succeeded to some extent, with some men genuinely feeling apprehensive, it seems they are now witnessing men take exaggerated precautions to protect themselves. Interestingly, feminists seem to be placing blame on these men for their reactions, conveniently overlooking the possibility that their actions may have contributed to this situation. This underscores the challenging dynamics between men and feminists, where compliance with feminist directives is seemingly the only acceptable path, yet even that isn't guaranteed to be without criticism. Negative consequences. The METOO movement, while instrumental in shedding light on issues related to sexual harassment and assault, has also been associated with many negative consequences for both men and women. Erosion of Due Process. Critics argue that the movement, in some cases, has led to a presumption of guilt without proper legal proceedings. Accusations on social media platforms can lead to severe consequences for the accused men without a fair investigation. Impact on professional reputations. Individuals accused of misconduct, even if later proven innocent, often face long-lasting damage to their personal and professional reputations. The public nature of these accusations can lead to stigmatization, irrespective of the legal outcomes. Fear and hesitation in professional relationships. The heightened awareness around sexual harassment has, in some instances, led to increased fear and hesitation in professional relationships. Some individuals, particularly men, report being cautious about interactions with colleagues to avoid any perception of impropriety. Backlash and Skepticism. There has been a backlash against the METOO movement, with many men expressing skepticism about the motives of accusers. This can create an environment where legitimate claims may be met with unwarranted doubt. Impact on workplace dynamics. Companies, fearing reputational damage, have sometimes responded by implementing strict policies that may inadvertently impact workplace dynamics. A lot of men report avoiding mentorship or one-on-one interactions with female colleagues to minimize the risk of allegations. The blurring of lines. There is a concern that the movement may have contributed to blurring the lines between serious offenses and less severe, potentially ambiguous situations. It can be argued that not all incidents are equivalent in gravity, and a spectrum of behaviors should be acknowledged. Chilling effect on free expression. The fear of potential accusations may create a chilling effect on free expression, with men becoming hesitant to engage in open discussions or express certain views. Legal conundrums. Legal systems are grappling with how to navigate cases emerging from the METOO movement. There are challenges in determining appropriate legal consequences and ensuring fairness to the accused men, especially regarding false allegations. Impact on workplace relations. The heightened focus on workplace relationships may lead to discomfort and strained relations between colleagues, especially for men. Some men hesitate to form personal connections at work, impacting team cohesion. The ongoing battle against male-only institutions and workplaces by some women has inadvertently contributed to creating a hostile environment. The expectation that male co-workers are obligated to entertain them is perceived by some as a manifestation of entitlement. The concept of unfireable diversity hires, coupled with the economic pressures faced by many, adds another layer to the complexity of the issue. The struggle for survival in a competitive job market, particularly for men, becomes a significant concern, overshadowing questions about whether certain actions are considered sexist. In response to the perceived protection of women as a special class, men might be inclined to stick to interactions with other men, avoiding engagement with women altogether. While this approach is undeniably rooted in a form of sexism, it is essential to recognize the complexities at play, including the presence of benevolent sexism, a facet that mainstream feminism may not be eager to acknowledge. The intricate interplay of these factors raises questions about the evolving dynamics in workplaces and societies influenced by feminist ideologies. And that's it for today on Sigma Traits. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you can be the first to know when my new video drops. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.